This is a quick review of this voltmeter that I just got. It's an Amprobe 570. Got it off Amazon. And it has a lot of nice features. Just briefly, the thing we use most commonly is continuity, I suppose. And it has a light. One thing I would like is the light to come on by default and then turn it off. I have the option to turn it off. And it's also auto ranging by default, but it has a range override. So for instance, to check like low ohms, you can see how long it takes to range down. But I just hit the range button and it switches to manual. And now it's fixed on the range, so if you the range you want. Now it'll read right away. See, you get rid of that lag. But it's really a nice meter. I recommend it. True RMS. But here's some things I've found. So for continuity, see this continuity indicator. What you really want is quick response. See, you should be able to just flip it like that and have it beep, because oftentimes you're just running across points to see is there a short. And that is, I think that's acceptable. So you can't get it to, that's good. And the other, and you have the diode test, which is by itself. Then you have temperature. This one has a nice temperature option, degrees, Fahrenheit or centigrade. Plus it has dual thermocouples. This arc here indicates it has an adapter which can take 2 type K thermocouples. So you plug in the adapter, then you have 2 thermocouple standard plugs, and you can read T1, T2, or the difference, like be doing delta temperature measurements. The other weird thing, which I hadn't seen before, is a 400K thing. It's called low impedance. What does that mean? I had to look up the manual. So normally when you're on volts readings, you can assume the voltmeter is megohms or even 10 megohms. But oftentimes that will pick up noise, and you'll be, if you're on AC, you'll be reading, higher noise than is truly there because it's high impedance. It's an antenna. So then you switch on this low impedance, and let's see, does it indicate? So we're on AC true RMS. Oh, there it goes, low Z. So it only is for as long as you hold it, I guess. See how the reading goes down? So it's basically forcing the voltmeter into a 400K input impedance instead of 10 megohms. So if there's extraneous noise you suspect, and you see a difference in those two readings, that tells you there's like RF noise or something interfering. So that's useful, but it's not, I guess for safety reasons, it's probably just a momentary thing. You have to hold it down. And it has a normal, relative measurement where you can zero out, and just do a relative. So it has, I guess the indicator maybe is up here. So then millivolts is another nice thing you want to be able to read. So this can resolve down to 0.1 millivolts, which is 100 microvolt. So if you're reading thermocouples, you're talking like microvolts. And it has microamp range for AC/DC, and a low pass filter on the AC. So if you're reading AC, you hit this. Let's see, now there's the indicator here. It's for low pass filter, I guess. See how it cuts it down to 0. Now it's picking up noise, 60 hertz noise. So this low pass filter is useful for, then the NCV, that's the last thing. Let's see. So what do you think that means? NCV, non-contact volts. And so there's a light up here that's useful for, let's see. Oh yeah, this one here. Yeah, so you can, so if you're in the dark, you can see where it is. So we turn that on. You can, especially for testing cabinets and things. So now it's on, if I want NCV, NCV is like checking if something's power line is energized or not. But it's a little touchy. So I'm going to check this wire here. See, it's energized, but it's, oh, there, see, now it's beeping. So you have to get right on it. So you don't just touch where this bump is, you gotta have it actually contact, like right here. And then it will tell you if there's energy on that wire. And that's a very useful thing. Otherwise, everything else is standard, I think. Max min. And it has a 9-volt battery, and it has a stand. And it has a nice bumper cover. And the 9-volt you have to unscrew. It's like a fluke, kind of. So let's see. Inaccuracy wise, I checked it with my calibrator, and I don't know what the specs are, if it's how many digits, but there's what, 3.5 digit there. But for the money, it's a very nice multifunction meter, recommended in true RMS.